My twin sister was diagnosed with celiacs at 12, and when I got a tree nut allergy. At 16, she said I was copying her for attention. At our graduation dinner, she told our waiter I was lying about my allergy, and I was declared dead for 47 seconds after eating almond oil. My twin sister was diagnosed with celiac disease when we were 12. It stunted her growth, and sometimes she gets stomach aches, but that was it. When I was diagnosed with a severe tree nut allergy at 16, she told people I was copying her for attention. She'd monitor my EpiPen at school, announcing, "That's just a prop, and I'm the one who actually needs medical attention for my migraines." She even started switching my allergy bracelet with fake jewelry because other girls are always jealous of her. It was horrible, and I should have distanced myself. But instead, I stayed in the family dynamic. By the time we graduated high school, she was telling friends I gave myself an allergy on purpose, that I was jealous of her being the prettier one, and was trying to get attention in some other way. She convinced our parents I was exaggerating reactions for sympathy. She never swells like that from actual nuts. I started bringing nut-free cookies made with almond flour to test if I'd pretend to react. When I'd check food labels before eating, she'd loudly declare, "I never need to check ingredients, and I have actual health issues." During my first hospitalization for anaphylaxis, she told doctors I ate nuts on purpose for attention. She even posted on Instagram about Munchausen's in teenage girls while I had breathing tubes down my throat. She'd contaminate my lunch with trace amounts, then watched me struggle through reactions, timing how long before I gave up the act. The worst was when she told my college admissions interviewer I was faking to get disability accommodations, and nearly sabotaged my future. Then came graduation dinner. I'd been managing well, careful habits for months, Sarah noticed. "Funny how you're suddenly cured when no one's watching." That evening, she pulled our waiter aside. I saw her show him her phone, whispering urgently, and then my entree arrived. The sauce tasted wrong immediately. My throat started closing. By the time they called 911, I was completely blue. A crowd had gathered around me and watched as I was declared dead for 47 seconds. Sarah performed perfectly, and started crying as they loaded me in the ambulance. At the hospital, she whispered to our parents, "See, she does this for drama. I've never actually seen her have a real reaction." The ER doctor looked puzzled, but she ingested massive amounts of almond oil. Turns out she'd told the waiter I was lying about my allergy. She'd rather see me dead than admit I had a real condition. But when I tried to explain, everyone saw a traumatized girl blaming her concerned sister. So I decided I'd stop being her victim. If Sarah wanted to test allergies, I'd let her experiment her way into a prison cell. After college, I became a dietitian, specializing in anaphylaxis. Got certified in food tampering litigation. Started documenting every post she made mocking allergies. Built relationships with prosecutors who handled contamination cases. That's when I discovered she'd become an event coordinator at the country club. I found 23 mysterious allergic reactions at her events over 5 years, all documented in her social media as jealous girls ruining parties. Set up meetings with victims, recorded their stories, created an evidence file that would be indisputable. But I knew I had to wait for the perfect moment to strike, and that's when she announced her wedding date. 300 guests gathered to celebrate her perfect day. She'd been bragging for months about planning every detail, especially the menu. But prosecutors move faster when multiple victims file reports. I sat in my apartment that night, phone propped against a coffee mug while I filmed Victoria Chen's testimony. She spoke clearly about the country club brunch where she'd gone into anaphylactic shock after eating what Sarah assured her were nut-free pastries. My phone buzzed with notifications. Sarah was texting all 300 wedding guests about how her menu choices were ruined by severe nut allergies. The irony wasn't lost on me. The knock came at 11 p.m. Through the peephole, I saw Sarah standing in the hallway, designer purse clutched against her chest. I slid my evidence board behind the couch and opened the door. She walked past me without invitation, her eyes scanning my living room. They lingered on the stack of wedding magazines I'd hastily thrown over my files. She settled onto my